Hey guys, welcome. My name is Tennessee. Today we're working on our week 2 of your peak pose to Birds of Paradise. Now I'm going to start doing a 4-week progression into your peak postures. So this time we're working on Birds of Paradise. So if you haven't done week 1, I suggest you stop this video, go to week 1, do your week 1. That opens you up for binds, lengthening into the hip or to the hamstrings, opening up through the hips. Today we're going to add on to that. So we're going to still work on our binds, still lengthen, still open up, but we're going to work our way into the Birds of Paradise. So stepping forward from your extended side angle, all those things. Now you can take as many breaks as you need. Don't feel like you have to go to the options that I'm giving you. I will break it down for you so you can stay wherever you need to. This is for all levels and all bodies. So again, take what you need. Don't feel like you have to go to that deepest expression today. Now, I do recommend that you have blocks. If you don't, you can always bring in some books that you have around the house or some pillows, anything that kind of brings you up or elevates you from the earth up. Also, if you have a strap, highly recommended as well. If you don't, no worries. You can always use a towel or you can do it without. So I'll guide you through as we go through. I always start my classes with a chakra clearing. If you don't know what chakras are, there's 7 energy sources throughout your body. They start at the base of your spine and they work their way through the crown of your head. So I just want you to check in, notice what feels good, get out of your head, get into your body, whether that be through the posture or your breath. So today we're going to start on our backs in a Supta Baddha Konasana. So come all the way onto your backs, bring the soles of your feet together, knees out wide. Now again, if you have your blocks, you can place your blocks underneath your knees. You can place them closer up into your hips. You can always bring your knees into your midline and just kind of settle in here. You can always lay in a Shavasana with your legs straight if that feels better for you. We're going to be here for the first few minutes of class, just kind of checking in. So kind of settle into your upper body, release any tension you're holding on to. Now go ahead and close your eyes. Inhale, completely fill up your lungs. Audible exhale, let that go. Let's do that again. Inhale, completely fill up. Audible exhale, release. See if you can surrender a little bit further onto your mat, releasing any more tension you're holding on to, checking in with your ankles, your knees, your hips, your low back, your shoulders, your arms, your neck, your jaw, and your head. Now this time, inhale through your nose. Find a constriction in the back of your throat and then exhale through your nose. This is your Ujjayi Pranayama. Inhaling through your nose and then exhaling through your nose. See if you can make your inhale the same length as it is your exhale with the same intensity. I just want you to carry this breath throughout your practice today through each posture, through each movement as we go through. Now just start to clear your mind. And bring your focus, your awareness, your energy to the base of your spine, to your root chakra, your first chakra. This is your I am space. This is your foundation, your safety, your security. This is where everything starts. Just check in, notice what feels good, notice if any discomfort. On your inhale, bring your focus, your energy, awareness into your second chakra, the space below your belly button, your sacral. This is your I feel space, where you house your emotions, your desires, your sexuality, also known as your mother womb. Now work your energy up into your third chakra, the space above your belly button, your solar plexus. Your I do space. This is what drives you, where your passions, your creativity, your power lie. Guide your energy up into your fourth chakra, your heart. Your I love space, space of relationships, self-acceptance, and unconditional love. Now work your energy into your fifth chakra, your throat. Your I speak space, space of communication, your truth. And work your energy up into your sixth chakra, the space just between your eyebrows, your ISC space, your space of intuition, your third eye. And then finally take your focus, your energy awareness all the way above your head to your seventh chakra, your crown chakra. Your I understand space, your path to enlightenment. I want you to draw your energy all the way down to the base of your spine and then inhale it through the 7 chakras through the crown of your head. Notice if anything gets stuck, of any discomforts, or if it feels good. Work to bring your focus, your energy, your awareness to those areas throughout your class today. One big clearing breath in. Audible exhale, let that go. Nice work, guys. Flutter your eyes open. You can remove your blocks if they're underneath your knees. Just hug your knees up into your chest. Circle your knees opposite one another in and out. Releasing any tension through your hips, your low back. Breathe. Now just set the soles of your feet down just outside your sitting bones. Your knees are up. Now take your left ankle on top of your right knee. Left ankle on top of right. Find a reclined figure 4. So hug your right knee up and into your chest. Now you can flex your left toes back towards your shin. Pull your left knee forward. You can help to use your elbow to pull forward. You want to relax your right foot. One more breath. Now exhale, slowly release your left leg down to the top of your mat. Keep hugging your right knee up and into your chest. Take it outside your rib cage, back up into your shoulder. Ardha Appanasana, half wind relieving pose. Now find your way into a half happy baby. Send the sole of your right foot up to the ceiling. Plug your right knee down as you draw your shoulder blade back and down. Now if this is too much to grab your foot, you can always place your hand underneath your thigh and just press down, hold here. You want to keep grounding through your left hip, so you can take your left hand on top of your left hip and just press down. Good, exhale, slowly release your right leg down to the top of your mat. On your inhale, use your core and hug both knees back up into your chest. Find Appanasana, wind relieving pose. Option to reach for opposite elbows for a deeper compression. You want to extend your spine. Good, now just slowly lower the soles of your feet down just outside your sits bones, knees are up. This time take your right ankle on top of your left knee. Recline figure 4, hug your left knee up and in. You can flex your right toes back and then pull your right knee forward. Helps to open up the hip. You relax your left foot. Now try not to hug up and in here. You want to extend your spine, so pull the back of your neck down without constricting your breathing. Now go ahead and release your right leg down to the top of your mat. Keep hugging your left knee up and in. Take it outside your rib cage, back up into your shoulders. Again, Ardha Appanasana, option to reach for opposite elbows for a deeper compression. Option to keep grounding through your right hip. Good, now find your way into a half heavy baby. Send the sole of your left foot up to the ceiling. Draw your knee down, plug your shoulder blade back and down. Now again, if this is too much, just grab underneath your thigh and press down. Exhale, slowly release your left leg down to the top of your mat. Inhale, drop both knees up into your chest. Use your core. Appanasana one more time. Give yourself a big hug. Now this time, rock and roll, front to back, the length of your spine. Cross at your ankles. Set your feet down, plant your hands. Come back into a tabletop. So draw your knees down to your mat. Now stack your shoulders on top of your wrists. Your fingers are spread wide. Stack your hips to your knees. Now option to ground through the tops of your feet. Option to tuck your toes under. Inhale, cow pose, gaze up, bellies down. Exhale, cat, tuck in, round up, dome up through your shoulder blades. Pull your hip bones up to your rib cage. Maybe add movement side to side, left to right. Always listening into your body. Give it exactly what it needs. It's always going to tell you. Inhale, cow pose, gaze up, bellies down. Now see if you can take your gaze up a little bit further, opening up through your throat, broadening through your collarbones. Exhale, cat, tuck in, round up. Let's do one more round here. Inhale, cow pose. And then exhale for cat. Work your way back to your neutral spine. Just extend your right leg long behind. Flex your toes back towards your shin. Try to keep your right hip bone pointing down towards your mat. So try not to open up here, but point it back down. Extend your left arm long in front. Palm faces in, thumb is up. Inhale, lengthen, extend, reach. Exhale, draw your elbow into your knee and hold. Round up through your shoulder blades, belly button pulls in. Inhale, lengthen, extend, reach, lengthen. Exhale, draw it in. Let's do one more here. Inhale, reach, extend, lengthen. Exhale, bring it in. Slowly plant your left hand down, draw your right knee down. This time, extend your left leg long behind. Reach your right arm out in front. Palm face in, thumb up. Again, work your left hip bone down to your mat. Inhale, lengthen, extend, reach. Exhale, draw your elbow to your knee and hold. Inhale, lengthen, extend, reach. Exhale, bring it in. Let's do one more here. Exhale, draw it in. Slowly lower your hand down, draw your knee down. Tuck your toes under. Lift your knees 2 inches off your mat. Find a tabletop hover. Now loading into your shoulders, fingers are spread wide. Your belly button pulls into spine. Hips are stacked to your knees. Can you take your knees out and in without bouncing your hips? So we're not adding the bounce here. You want to keep everything still. Give me 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower your knees back down and tuck your toes. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Let's do one more round. Inhale, cow. Now exhale for cat. Now slowly extend your right leg long behind one more time. This time, can you sweep it out to the side, keeping your leg straight, tapping to the outside of your wrist, and then send it back behind. Good. Keep it going here. Tapping out, extending back. Working on the core control, feeling the sensation in your low belly. Give me 2 more. You got 1 more. Good. Now this time, hug your knee up into your chest. Just plant your right foot outside your right hand. Now plant both hands to the inside of your right foot. Hug your knee in. Draw your hips down and forward. Now if you want to add any movement here, let that feel good in your driving lunge. Breathe. Exhale, half splits. So send your hips back to stack to your back knee. Flex your front toes towards your shin. Lead with your torso to the top of your thigh. Option if you have your blocks, you can place your hands on top of your blocks, elevate the ground, working towards that bend, hinging from the hips. Give me 1 more breath. Good. Exhale, slowly plant your right foot down, tuck your back toes under. Plant both hands to the inside of your right foot and just draw your knee back, find tabletop. Now this time, extend your left leg long behind. Find those leg sweeps to the left side. So keeping your left leg straight, tap in line with your wrist, and then send it back behind. Keep it going here. Activating the core, belly button pulls in, feel the external oblique crunch. Give me 4. We got 3. We got 2. And 1. Hold it long behind. Hug your knee up into your chest. Just plant your left hand outside, left foot outside your left hand. Now draw your hips down and forward. Breathe. Add any movement you need here. Maybe add some hip circles. Allow that energy to move. Now work your way into a half split. So go ahead and frame your front foot with both hands. Shift your hips back to stack to your back knee. Flex your front toes towards your shin. Lead with your torso to the top of your thigh. Again, option for your blocks underneath your hands to bring the ground up. Now slowly plant the sole of your left foot down. Plant both hands to the inside of your left foot. And then just work your left knee back. Find that tabletop. Tuck your toes under, lift your tailbone high, find your downward facing dog, Adho Mukha. This is the first down dog of your class. Your feet are about hip width distance. Gaze in between your feet. Now you can bend your knees, you can pedal out your feet, walk your dog. Fingers are always spread wide, grounding through your first finger and your thumb. Inhale, come up onto your tippy toes, roll into a high plank and hold. Stack your shoulders to your wrist, hips in line with your shoulders, belly draw in. Now if this is too much, you can always draw your knees down. Otherwise, stay lifted. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha. Breathe, let that feel good. Let's do that again. Inhale, come up onto your tippy toes, roll into your high plank and hold. Now if you want to draw your knees down, draw your knees down. I want you to notice the difference between your high plank and your down dog. My feet and my hands stay the same in both postures. So notice I don't make any adjustments. So if you're adjusting, you want to stay the same in both postures. Now slowly lower all the way down to your bellies. Hug your elbows into your rib cage. Untuck your toes. Ground through the tops of your feet through your hip bones. Inhale, Bhujangasana Cobra. Lift up, hug your elbows back, shoulders melt away. Exhale, slowly lower. Let's do that again. Inhale, Bhujangasana Cobra. Lift it up, hug it back. Exhale, slowly lower. This time, inhale, Cobra Locust. Hands and feet lift up off your mat. Keep grounding through your hip bones in the soft part of your belly. Option to extend arms back behind. Option bound locust. Interlace your hands to the small of your back. Lift up. Take your gaze slightly ahead and up. Breathe. Exhale, slowly release. Plant your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes under. Come up onto your knees. Lift your tailbone high. Find your downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let that go. Now take your gaze to the top of your mat. Walk your feet to meet your hands. Find your forward fold, Uttanasana. Ragdoll pose, reach for opposite elbows. Sway your bodies left to right. Maybe nod your head yes or no. Maybe scoop the energy into your midline. Bend your knees as much as you need to here. Allow your head to hang, allow your upper body just to kind of hang, releasing. Creating space through the spine. Now slowly draw your hands down towards your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Belly button pulls in the spine, shoulders melt away from your ears. Exhale, forward fold. Let's do that again. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Arms sweep all the way up. Take your gaze up. Exhale, draw your hands to your heart center. Inhale, exhale, Tadasana. Now let that go, pedal out your feet. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Arms sweep all the way up. Exhale, find a bind to the small of your back. Now interlace your hands to the small of your back. Puff your chest forward. Activate glutes. Activate hamstrings. Squeeze your inner thighs. Gaze up and back. Exhale, forward fold with your bind. Draw your torso to the top of your thighs. Bend your knees as much as you need to. If you have shoulder mobility, work your arms above your head. Breathe. Exhale, slowly release your bind down to your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, send it back. Lower down halfway, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Knees and hips lift up off your mat, arms are straight, gaze ahead. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana, let that go. Breathe. Now you want to find an external rotation in your inner thighs in your downward dog. So feel that through the inner thigh. Breathe, drawing your tailbone up, torso to your thighs. Take your gaze back to the top of your mat. Step or jump, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, arms sweep all the way up. Take your gaze up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, exhale, Tadasana. Now flowing through our sun A. So inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, find the bind to the small of your back. Inhale, puff your chest forward. Exhale, forward fold with your bind. Bend your knees as much as you need to. One more breath. Exhale, release your bind. Draw your hands down towards your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step or jump, Chaturanga Dandasana. Now option, upward facing dog, or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathe, let that go. Nice work, guys. Now take your gaze back to the top of your mat, step or jump, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, so Utkatasana, toes to touch, knees to touch, squeeze your inner thighs. Your tailbone draws back and down, bellies are in, chest is lifted, arms are strong. Now check your knees and make sure that they're behind your big toes. If you're pulling forward, draw the hips back and down. Good. Now look up between your hands. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step or jump, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, right heel rises. Open up your hip. So stack your hips, your shoulders are square to the top of your mat. Try not to open up through your right side. So pull the shoulder back down. Stacking the hips, breathe. Exhale, square your hip, bring your knee to your nose, rounding up through the spine, belly button pulls in, hold. Inhale, three-legged dog. Send your right heel high. Exhale, warrior two. Step to the inside of your right hand. Pivot on your back foot. Ground through your back, the left blade of your foot. Cartwheel your arms open. Sink into your front thigh. Breathe. Now, find an external rotation in your upper thigh. Stack your front knee to your front ankle. Work for the heel to heel, heel to arch alignment. Your gaze is down your front middle finger. Can you give me 2 more inches into your front thigh? Good. Inhale, high crescent lunge. Back heel lifts. Front knee stacks, hip shoulders are square. Exhale, plant your hands. Step back, high plank, lower down, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, left heel rises. Now open up your hips, stack your hips, shoulders are square. Breathe. 1 more breath. Exhale, square your hip, bring your knee into your nose, hold here, round up through the shoulder blades. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Sweep your left heel high. Exhale, warrior two. Step to the inside of your left hand. Pivot on your back foot. Ground through the blade of your back foot. Cartwheel your hands open. Sink into your front thigh. Gaze down your front middle finger. Breathe. Inhale, high crescent lunge. Back heel lifts, front knee stacks. Hip shoulders are square. Exhale, plant down. Send it back. Chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward dog. Warrior cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let that go. Breathe. Now take your gaze back to the top of your mat. Step or jump, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, Uttanasana. Toes to touch, knees to touch. Squeeze your inner thighs, tailbone draws back, belly's in, chest is lifted, arms are strong. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step or jump, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog, warrior cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, right heel rises. Open up your hips, stack your hips, breathe. Exhale, square your hip, knee to nose, hold. Inhale, 3-legged dog, sweep your right heel high. Exhale, warrior two. Step to the inside of your right hand, ground through the blade of your back foot, cartwheel your hands open, gaze down your front middle finger. Inhale, high crescent lunge, back heel lifts, front knee stacks, hip shoulders are square. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, high plank, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhales, downward facing dog. Inhale, left heel rises. Open up your hips, stack your hips, breathe. Exhale, square your hip, knee to nose, hold. Inhale, 3-legged, sweep your left heel high. Exhale, step it through, warrior two. Round through the blade of your back foot, cartwheel your hands open, sink into your front thigh, gaze on your front middle finger. Inhale, high crescent lunge, back heel lifts, front knee stacks. Exhale, plant it down, send it back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let that go, breathe. Woo. Now come all the way down into a child's pose. Just bring your knees out wide, draw your third eye down, bring your big toes to touch, lengthen to the top of your mat. Settle in, let that go. Bring your palms to touch, knuckles of your thumbs to the nape of your neck. Stretch that out, breathe. Now slowly lower your hands down to the top of your mat. Take your gaze to the top of your mat. Roll back up, tuck your toes under, tailbone lifts, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take your gaze back to the top of your mat, bring your thumbs close together. Now, step your right foot out to a 45 outside your right hand. Left foot steps out to a 45. Draw into your Malasana Yogi squat. So, your heels are in line with your sit bones. Your elbows are to the inside of your knees. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Try not to dump down here, so try not to round through your shoulder blades, but lift and lengthen, activating Mula Bandha, your root bandha, and your stomach bandha, your Uddiyana bandha. So energy locks are the bandhas when you want to pull up and in. Now breathe here. Give 1 more breath. Now if this is too much for you, or your feet don't touch all the way, take your stance out wider. Another option is to take a block and just sit on your block and hold it here. Don't be afraid to use your props. They help you with that muscle memory. If you've got your Malasana, stay here and drop your right shoulder inside your right knee. Plant your right hand outside your right hand. Open up through your left side body. Take your gaze up to your left hand. Now option for a half bind or a full bind. If you've got the half bind, take your left hand to the small of your back. and stay here. Otherwise, if you've got the full bind, go ahead and wrap, reach for both hands. Take your gaze up over your left shoulder. Good, guys, one more breath. Inhale, slowly come back through your midline. Exhale, switch it out. Drop your left shoulder inside your left knee. Plant your left hand out to the side. Open up your right side. Take your gaze up. Now, option for your half or your full bind. One more breath. Inhale, slowly come all the way back into your midline. Now just plant your hands, step back to your high plank, lower down Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or your cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Uttanasana, breathe, let that go. Pedal out your feet. Inhale, right heel rises. Exhale, low lunge. So step to the inside of your right foot. Frame your front foot with both hands. Now push forward and back with the ball of your left foot. You've got 4, 3, 2, 1. Push forward, lower your left knee down, untuck your left toes, plant both hands to the inside of your right foot. Keep hugging your right knee into your shoulder. Now option to stay here, option to take a block, come all the way down to your forearms. If you've got the deeper expression, just come down to your forearms. Otherwise, use your props. Settle in, keep hugging your right knee in. Keep pulling your hips down and forward. Now you want to make sure that your knees stack to your ankles. So if your foot is back here and your knees forward, can you place your foot a little bit forward and stack your knee? We have one more breath. Go ahead and plant your hands down if you're lowered down. Find a twisted dragon. So heel toe your right foot out to a 45. Come onto the blade of your right foot, gently press your knee out as you take your gaze up over your right shoulder. Now option to stay here, option for a King Arthur stretch. So reach back, grab the outside blade of your left foot with your right hand and draw it into your glute. If this is too much, you can always take your strap and wrap around your foot. You can take your towel. Or you can just stay with it lowered. Don't feel like you have to go into that expression. You have one more breath. Exhale, release your bind. Heel toe your front foot to the middle of your mat. Find a half splits. So you've been here before. So frame your front foot, flex your toes back towards your shin, stack your hips to your back knee. Now, option here, you can stay here, work on lengthening through the hamstring. Otherwise, if you've got it, I want you to try to work on the bind. So drop your right shoulder inside your right thigh. You can bend your knee as much as you need to here. Plant your right hand back behind, palm face down. Now open up through your left side body. Work for the half or take the full bind. If your hand touches the inside of your right hip, go ahead and try for the full bind. And then your final step is to work on straightening your leg. This is quite an extensive bind here, so do not feel like you have to take it. Go ahead and exhale, release that. Go ahead and plant your hands down, shift your weight forward, plant the sole of your right foot down. Tuck your back toes under, lift through your back knee, and then open up Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. So ground through the blade of your left foot, cartwheel your hands open, sink into your front thigh, gaze down your front middle finger. Inhale, reverse Warrior 2. Your legs stay where they're at. Reach your right arm up and back, left arm down. Exhale, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Straighten out your right leg, cartwheel your right hand to the inside of your calf. Work your shoulders back to stack, gaze up to your left hand. Now create space with the external oblique and the top of your thigh. One more breath. Exhale, wide forward fold, Prasarita Padottanasana. Turn your right toes in. Draw your hands down to the side edge of your mat. Walk your hands further distance in between your feet. Torso to your thighs, crown of your head down. Now you can add any move that you need here. Maybe you want to shift side to side, left to right. Maybe you want to add a bind here. Maybe you want to twist. Do what feels good for you in your body. Your body's always trying to tell you what you need. You have one more breath. Now inhale, star pose. Reach all the way up, turn your feet out to a 45. Exhale, goddess. Sink your tailbones straight down. Find the external rotation through the upper thighs, knees stacked to your ankles. Take your stance wide and sink down. Can you give me 2 inches? Reach your arms out to the side. Breathe. Can you pulse, lift up and down, pulse and lower for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, warrior 2 to the top of your mat. Sink into your front thigh. Reach, extend forward. Exhale, extended side angle. Take your right hand to the inside of your ankle. Option for the block here. Now, option to place your forearm on top of your thigh. Option to extend left arm straight up, over, or if you've got it, I want you to try to work for the bind. So work for the half bind. Take your left hand to the middle of your back, or work for the full bind. Now, if you've got the full bind, I want you to place your left hand to the inside of your right hip crease. Drop your right shoulder inside your right thigh. Reach back. Open up the chest. So work your shoulders back to stack. Take your gaze up to your left shoulder. Now, stay here if you've got that full bind. Breathe. One more breath. Exhale, release your bind. Inhale, back warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale, high crescent lunge. Back heel lifts, front knee stacks. Exhale, plant your hands. Step back, high plank, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog, warrior cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let that go. Pedal onto your feet. Breathe. Inhale, left heel rises. Exhale, low lunge. Step to the inside of your left hand. Frame your front foot with both hands. Now push forward and back with the ball of your right foot. For 4, 3, 2, dragon lunge, and 1. Slowly draw your right knee down and tuck your right toes. Plant both hands to the inside of your left foot. Now hug your left knee into your left shoulder. Option to stay here. Option to come all the way down to your forearms. Breathe. Keep drawing the hips down and forward. Make sure your knee is stacked to your ankle. One more breath. If you're down to your forearms, plant your hands, lift back up. Exhale, twist a dragon heel, till your left foot out to a 45. Come onto the blade of your left foot, gently press your knee out as you take your gaze up over your left shoulder. Now, option to stay here, option for the King Arthur stretch. Reach back up the outside blade of your left foot with your right hand, or excuse me, your right foot with your left hand. Keep pulling your hips down and forward. Option to always use your strap. Now release your bind and heel toe your front foot to the middle of your mat. Find a half splits. So you've been here before. Now, option to stay here. Keep working, leading with your torso to the top of your thigh. Option to work for the bind. So you're gonna plant both hands to the inside of your thigh. Now bend your knee as much as you need to. Plant your left hand outside your left thigh. Now open up to your right side body. Now if you have one side tighter than the other, like I pulled a muscle into this about a couple of weeks ago, so it's still pretty tight. So option to stay here. If you've got the bind, take your half, or work for your full bind. Keep dropping into the shoulders. I'm gonna bend my knee a little bit further, but I'm gonna plant the sole of my foot down. I'm gonna still work for that bind without falling, and open up. Again, you may have one side that's just tighter than the other, and that's totally normal. You just kind of work your way into it as you can. Good, one more breath. Exhale, release your bind. Now keep grounding through your left foot, tuck your back toes under, frame your front foot with both hands, lift through your back knee, open up warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2, sinking into your front thigh. Inhale, reverse your warrior 2. Reach your left arm up and back, right arm down. Exhale, Trikonasana. Straighten out your left leg, cartwheel your left hand to the inside of your calf. Work your shoulders back to stack. Breathe. Now lift up with the external oblique and the top of your thigh. One more breath. Exhale, wide forward fold. Just turn your left toes in. Walk your hands down to the side edge of your mat. Walk your hands further in, hip width distance. Lead your torso to the top of your thighs, crown of your head further down. Now again, you can bend your knees, work side to side. Add any movement you need here, listening to the body. Add any binds. Add any twists. Give one more breath. Inhale, star pose. Reach all the way up. Turn your feet out to a 45. Exhale, goddess. Sink down. Draw your tailbone straight down. Shoulders stacked to your hips. Externally rotate through your upper thighs. Now breathe. Can you pulse, lift, and lower? For 4, 3, hold it low, 2, hold it low, and 1. Good. Breathe here. One more breath. Inhale, star pose. Reach all the way up. Exhale, warrior 2 to the top of your mat. Sinking into your front thigh. Reach, extend forward. Exhale, extended side angle. Cartwheel your left hand to the inside of your ankle. Again, option for your block, option to stay here. If you've got it, take your forearm on top of your thigh. Reach, extend over. Work for the half or the full bind. Now, if you've got the full bind, work your shoulders back to stack and stay there. You have one more breath. Exhale, release your bind. Back to warrior two. Inhale, high crescent lunge. Back heel lifts, front knee stacks. Exhale, plant your hands. Send it back, high plank, lower down, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward dog, warrior cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana, let that go. Breathe. Now this time, roll forward to your high plank and hold here. Now again, you can drop your knees down. Otherwise, I want you to stay lifted, activate the core. Now take your right leg out in line with your right wrist. Keep your leg straight, tap it back. Left side, left foot taps to the outside of your wrist, tap it back. If you're onto your knees, just take your knee, tap out, bring it back to your knee. Left side, tap out, bring it back. I want you to practice activating the low core here. Belly button pulls into spine, give me 4. We've got 3. We've got 2. High plank, and 1. Lower all the way down to your bellies. Whew. Now keep your hands planted underneath your shoulders. Extend your right arm out to your right side, palm face down. Find your scorpion chest stretch. Roll over to your right side. Keep your palm face down. Your wrist is in line with your shoulder. Now take the sole of your left foot to the right side of your mat. Option to bend your knee. Option to straighten out both legs. Option both knees bent. Option for the half bind. Inhale, slowly come all the way back into your midline. And then just switch it out. Right hand underneath your right shoulder, left arm extends out, roll over to your left side. You have your options. Now inhale, slowly come all the way back into your midline. Plant your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes under, lift your tailbone high. Find a downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, right heel rises. Exhale, warrior two. Step to the inside of your right hand. Open up, sinking into your front thigh, heel to heel alignment, gaze down your front middle finger. Reach, extend forward. Exhale, extend the side angle. Cartwheel your right hand to the inside of your ankle. Now, work for your binds here. Place your forearm on top of your thigh. Extend your left arm all the way up. Work for the half bind or the full bind. Now this time, if you've got that full bind, work your shoulders back to stack. Take your gaze to the top of your mat. Now step your left foot forward. Square your hips and shoulders to the top of your mat. You're loading into your left leg. Come up onto your right tippy toe. Now hinging from your hips with a flat back, keep the bind, keep squeezing your shoulder blades together. Inhale, lift halfway, use your core. If you fall out, you get back in, no big deal. Find the balance. This is where we're going today. I don't want you to go any further than this. Find that balance, find that control. Exhale, slowly lower your right foot down, and then just step your left foot back to your bound warrior two. Release, inhale, warrior two, Virabhadrasana two. Good, now just cartwheel your hands down, send it back, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward dog, warrior cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe. Now this time, inhale, left heel rises. Exhale, warrior two. Step to the inside of your left hand. Cartwheel your back foot down. Open up. Begin to your front thigh. Reach, extend forward. Exhale, extend inside angle. Take your left hand to the inside of your ankle. Now, option forearm on top of thigh. Reach, extend. Work for your binds. You got your half or your full. Work for that full bind. Once you've got that, take your gaze to the top of your mat. Now, step forward. Square your hips and shoulders. Load into your right leg. Keep squeezing shoulder blades together. Really opening up here. Belly button pulls into spine. You're hinging from your hips to lift. You're activating the core to lift. You're not lifting with the upper body. Inhale, lift halfway. Woo. Rounding in through the right leg. Breathe. And then just work the way back. Work your way back the way you came. Left foot steps down, right foot steps back. Inhale that warrior two, Virabhadrasana two. Cartwheel your hands down, send it back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog, warrior cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Ooh, let that go. Take your gaze to the top of your mat, and just come all the way down to a seat. Dandasana, legs straight out in front of you, rounding into your sitting bones. Your belly button pulls into spine. Inhale, arms reach all the way up. Exhale, Paschimottanasana, forward fold. Again, you're hinging from your hips, leading with your torso to the top of your thigh. If you have a strap, wrap your strap around the blades of your feet. Walk down your midline. Wherever you feel tension, pause and breathe. You can bend your knees as much as you need to here. If you don't have a strap, no equipment, just walk down the edges of your thighs. Bend in and lengthen. If you need an extension, take the block past your feet. You can elevate your heels for deeper expression. Whatever feels good for you. Just kind of settle in. Inhale, slowly lift back up. Exhale, Baddha Konasana. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees out wide. Interlace your fingers to the blades of your feet. Inhale, pull your chest forward. Exhale, slowly lower back down. Just check in, slow your breathing. Now inhale, slowly lift back up. And then exhale, come all the way onto your backs. Plug your knees into your chest, circle your knees opposite one another, in and out, let that go. Find your way into a happy baby. So send the soles of your feet up, draw your knees down, plug your shoulder blades back and down. You want to extend your spine here, so you want to keep your tailbone grounding. If this is too much or your tailbone's lifting up, just place your hands on top of your thighs and press down. Maybe rock side to side, left to right. Make your baby happy. Now work the soles of your feet down just outside your sits bones, knees are up. Plant your hands outside your hips. Inhale, bridge pose, Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. Activate glutes, activate hamstrings. Option for bound bridge. Interlace your hands to the small of your back. Keep lifting. Exhale, slowly release. Take your feet outside your mat. Knock your knees side to side, left to right, like windshield wipers. And then find an easy supine twist over to your right. So allow your knees to stagger. Take your right ankle on top of your left knee and press further down. You should feel that stretch through your hip, through your psoas, through your hip flexor. Bring your arms out to a T. Take your gaze left. Work to keep your shoulders grounding. Inhale, slowly come all the way into your midline. Once again, find the windshield wipers left to right. And then just allow your knees to stagger and fall over to your left, gaze to your right. Option to take your left ankle on top of your right knee and press further down. You want to keep your shoulders grounding. Good. Inhale, slowly come all the way into your midline. Just extend your legs straight up to the ceiling. Find your legs up the wall pose. So flex your toes back towards your shins. You can bend your knees as much as you need to. I just want you to surrender into your upper body. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest or digest. It's always good to do right before bed or anytime you need to settle into the parasympathetic, releasing the sympathetic nervous system, your fight, flight, or freeze. Now, option to stay here, option to find an inversion of your choice. If that's in your practice, you can work for plow pose, deaf man's pose, shoulder stand, or you can just stay where you're at. So shoulder stand, pulling the hips up in line with the shoulders, tucking the chin in, don't look side to side. If you've got plow, pull your feet above your head, keep your chin tucked, steel. If you've got a deaf man's pose, knees come out by your ears. Now slowly lower all the way onto your backs. And then lower your heels all the way down to the top of your mat. Once your heels touch the top of your mat, find yourself a good morning stretch. Inhale, reach your arms all the way above your head. Point your toes forward. Big stretch through your front side body. Big inhale, hold it up at the top. Audible exhale, release. Allow your hands to fall out to the side. Palms face up. Close your eyes. Come into your final Shavasana. Option to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you need. Otherwise, with your toes, with your fingers, bring life back into your bodies. Inhale, completely fill up your lungs. Audible exhale, let that go. Let's do that again. Inhale, completely fill up. Audible exhale, release. Now work your way either onto your right or your left side into a fetal position. Your right side is your masculine, your left is your feminine. And then slowly work your way up to an easy seated pose, just crossing at your ankles, lengthening through your spine, sitting up tall. Inhale, arms reach all the way above your head. Take all that good energy, bring it down into your heart center, your heart space, your fourth chakra. Inhale your confidence, your self-love, your self-acceptance. And exhale all your fears and doubts. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste.